Hello, class. I'm Professor Reynolds, and I would like to welcome you to Accounting 405, which is Advanced Accounting. The name speaks for itself. We're going to be learning about advanced accounting concepts, and we're going to cover 4 different areas. Now, a lot of accounting classes start out and you build on this fundamental, and then that fundamental allows you to expand your knowledge and build on further concepts related to the original concept. That's not the way this course is. We're going to be talking about 4 different areas of accounting. That can be good or bad. If you're a little weak on one, you get to start over. First area we're going to cover is business combinations. This will involve a parent company buying all or part of a subsidiary entity. The way that you treat this accounting will depend upon how much of the subsidiary the parent buys. And so that will be the first concept that we'll cover, and there are several chapters in the book that will explain how to do that. What you're really doing is trying to eliminate the effect of the second company and present these financial statements as if they're really one company. Then we'll go to currency translations, and there are a couple of areas that we'll cover in uh, currency. One will be translations of a foreign subsidiary. If a U.S. company owns a foreign subsidiary, when the U.S. company does their financial statements, they have to present the German's subsidiary their euros into dollars. And so there are some rules that you have to follow. We'll also talk about translating currency for hedging techniques. And these can be some complicated concepts, so it'll be important for you to start early and make sure you read the appropriate chapters. We'll then move to government and nonprofit accounting. And this is something very different from what you have been exposed to. These are entities that use what's called fund accounting, and they don't really have a net income per se. And lastly, we'll cover partnerships, the formation, how profits are distributed, etc. So you'll have different assignments to do. You'll have projects, you'll have papers, you'll also have the problem sets. The problem sets can be extensive and they can take a lot of time. I will provide you samples and examples of the different problem sets. If you read the material and then you review the problem sets, the examples I've given you, you should be able to do well on that part of the assignment. If you've taken other classes at SNHU, then you know that 8 weeks goes by quickly. And in advanced accounting, you can get behind pretty quickly if you don't keep up. So it's imperative that you start day one. And speaking of day one, the first week is going to be a discussion where you're required to look up issues involving a public company, a government-based organization, and a nonprofit organization. And you'll have a discussion about that. And that is due Thursday night at midnight, your local time. Then after that, you'll have 2 weeks you'll have to respond to 2 classmates after reading their discussion with substantive type responses. It can't be, hey, that's great, see you later. You've got to put something into what you're going to respond to that person about. Part of that first discussion, though, is to introduce yourself. And this is your chance to tell your fellow students about you. A lot of them may be in the same situation as you are. We have students from all over the country, and they probably have very similar constraints and issues, but we're all going for the same thing, and that's to get an accounting degree. So I'd like to start out and tell you a little bit about myself. I have been teaching accounting for 7 years. I'm an adjunct professor. I have, I'm not a professional doctoral type instructor, but I've spent most of my career in industry in really two different areas. The first area was in management, where I managed imaging centers, either fixed imaging centers, mainly MRI centers, or mobile MRI centers, also mobile nuclear medicine type equipment. And then I moved from that into accounting because I really liked accounting. And so I've been in accounting and a CPA for the last 15 years. I've worked for a couple of billion-dollar companies in accounting and managing different areas. So I have real world experience. Along the way, before that, I was also on a submarine, and I don't know if you can see here. This is actually a wooden replica of a 640 class um, fast attack nuclear submarine for the U.S. Navy. So I served aboard there, the Navy for 6 years. I was also a CAT scan technician, so I repaired CAT scanners. And I also have I'm a third degree black belt in Taekwondo. I highly recommend it. It's great exercises. So as I said, the first week you've got two assignments. You've got a discussion where you'll talk about the three articles and talk about yourself. And if you don't talk about yourself, that is uh, part of the assignment. So we'd like to hear about you. Then you'll have a Wiley problem set of 11 exercise. That is due by midnight Sunday. All right. So as I said, you need to get started. The first week, basically you need to review the resources, submit your initial discussion post, complete the problem set, post a discussion response to at least two peers, and then review the projects that will come later. I want to emphasize that all points count. So if you can't totally complete it, do as much as you can. As I said, it's easy to get behind. Now, if you miss an assignment that week, you do have another week to catch up for a 10% penalty. So the most you could get turning in late would be 90%. It's still worth it. 90% of the points is still points. Again, they all add up, they all count. So if you're a little behind, do the project. Um, I would like to see you all succeed. I would could make me any happier than all of you make A's. Unfortunately, that's never happened. And unfortunately, I've never had a class where people haven't failed. The class is that you get to schedule it around your schedule. But if you're attending live classes, that actually says, hey, I have to do something at this time. And when you're on your own, sometimes time slips away. So, what I would recommend you do is to pick a day that you are going to sit down every week. Tell everyone, hey, don't bother me during this time. This is my class time. And devote that time to reading and to reviewing the sample problems and then doing the homework. I'm emphasizing this because I've seen what happens when people get behind. And if you designate a certain time each week to time that you're going to devote to your studies, then I think that'll help you out. Your goal here is to get an accounting degree, and it's a worthy profession. I have certainly enjoyed the 15 years that I've been a CPA, but I've always enjoyed the financial and accounting aspect of work. I'm here to help you out. I will, if things come up, please contact me. If there are some things you don't understand, I will try my best to steer you in the right direction. I mean, you got to do the work. You've got to do the reading. You've got to do the problems. You've got to hand in the assignments. But I am here to help. I would like nothing better than to see you all achieve your goal of getting that accounting degree. It's a great profession. It is professionally rewarding, it is financially rewarding. And just think about it when you hear, hey, I'm a CPA, a certified public accountant. What does that mean to you? To me, it means that it's someone that's worked hard, that is credentialed, has passed the appropriate tests, and is an authority. The accounting profession, the CPA profession, is regarded highly by most individuals. That's your goal, and it is a worthy goal. So if I can help you out, I will. So get started.